Hello everyone and welcome to the NYC Derailed live stream. Tonight we're going to do the theme of old New York City. We're going to be running some New York Central streamlined steam engines and also some older subway cars to kind of go with the theme of old New York. So we're going to get started by sending off our New York State Express streamlined steam engine, which is on the third track back on the first module. Okay. And we'll be switching back and forth, and we have one view where you can see the main station as well as the subway station. We have another view where we've got a little bit better angle for the subway station. We'll be switching back and forth between those when we get there. Next we'll send off our Commodore Vanderbilt, which I believe was the first streamlined engine for New York Central. So we've got it pulling some pretty old looking coaches behind it. And we're going to switch over to our subway view, so you guys can get a look at our number 2 train leaving the station. Number 2 train leaving the station. We've got our Vanderbilt coming back into the station. And we're going to switch back to our subway station and look for another arrival. Our subway station and look for another arrival.
And here we have the New York City 4 train traveling from Brooklyn, New York, all the way to the Bronx, New York. Folks, I know the theme of today is old New York, but you can't think of New York City without thinking of the iconic subways. As a fellow New Yorker, I am obsessed. I grew up watching these green and red trains, now all silver in uniform. It's part of our daily commute, and it's beautiful to be from one part of the city into a completely different area in such a short matter of time, and that's all thanks to the million miles of underground.
There's a lot of track. There's a lot of track. Alright, so we're going to go back to our main module, and we're going to send off perhaps one of the most famous streamlined engines in the New York Central system, that's not Vanderbilt, the Dreyfus Hudson. And we'll get the Vanderbilt out of the way so the Dreyfus can pull onto the other track. And there's the Dreyfus Hudson pulling onto our rear track. It's definitely an iconic engine. You'll see the front of it a little bit better when it pulls into the station on the foremost track.
Folks, if you give a little of your attention down below, please excuse our regularly scheduled maintenance. As you know, the subway needs some good old-fashioned, tender loving care. You can almost smell the diesel.
That is not a pleasant smell when you're in the subway with no fresh air. That is not a pleasant smell.
You know something is coming when you smell diesel down below, and we can thank our folks at the MTA for repairing our rail cars. Oh, I guess they're done. And they're antsy to go home.
And there we've got our Vanderbilt pulling back into the station. And right behind it we've got our Dreyfus Hudson. Should be coming into view shortly. So there's that iconic streamlined engine. Pulling our kind of classic looking New York Central gray dark striped coaches. Everything off again.
And down below we've got our commuters coming in, trying to catch the Dreyfus Hudson. And leave room to get these passengers off. Now, I absolutely love Old New York. I actually think about the Dreyfus Hudsons. Personally, one of my favorites, and I'm super in love with our new Vanderbilt Hudson. It is the first streamlined train that there was. It came out in 1934, and it was actually a retrofitted J1 Hudson class that was converted and streamlined. And it was actually nicknamed the Bathtub. Did you know that?
Yes.
It's pretty
I
funny.
got confused. I thought they were talking about the Mercury, but I guess it wasn't. I guess it was that train.
It's another train I would absolutely love to be converted into a model railroad.
Alright, we're going to send the Dreyfus off. Gotta get ahead of the Vanderbilt. And we'll go back down to the subway while we're waiting for more trains coming to the station. We'll go back down to the subway while we're waiting for more trains coming to the station.
You think the passengers managed to get onto the Empire State Express before it took off?
Nope. The Trinity Express looks like stopping at the station right now. The Trinity Express looks like stopping at the station right now. And we'll give the Vanderbilt a chance to leave the station. That part of the Vanderbilt is a beautiful train.
It's a new release, folks. If you can get your hands on one now, I'd do it.
Yeah, it just released on March 31st, so last week.
Kudos to everyone at Train World for getting it shipped out pretty quickly.
Absolutely.
Here we have our 5426, the Empire State Express. I can't think of another train that looks more glamorous. This stainless steel, this streamlined look, very 30s and 40s Art Deco, glamorous, beautiful domed end car. Did you actually know that the Vanderbilt Hudson was later converted to look like the Empire State Express?
No, that's interesting.
Yeah, so it had a good run of about 5 years before they converted it into a train that looked very similar to the 5426 that we have here. Our express train. Are you running late or running late?
So what era were the red and green trains running? I thought they were older. No? I don't know.
That's a good question.
I always thought they were pretty like older era trains, but maybe not. I always thought they were pretty.
I do remember riding a red 7 train, and that was back in the 90s. So not as old as you think. If you ever have an opportunity to come down to the city during the holidays, MTA does have a holiday train show. You get to ride and relive the old days.
Back to the. So I guess now's a good time to talk a little bit about the actual models running.
Yeah, if there are any fellow train collectors out there.
The maintenance train you see there in the subway is actually an MTH model. All of our subways are MTH.
I believe these are all R17s.
MTH. That's a subway card?
I believe so.
That's a subway card? Unfortunately, MTH is not. They don't believe they're doing HO scale anymore. They don't believe they're doing HO scale anymore, which is very sad. We have a good handful of. We've got the green 4 train. We've got the red 2 train. The red train we acquired after MTH announced they were no longer going to be making HO scale, and the green train I'd gotten 2 years prior to that, and then we're lucky enough to find the maintenance train recently, so we're able to kind of fill out our subway section. We aren't directly modeling New York City, but we're definitely having a portion of our module reflect New York City, so we've got to have those subway cars, and we're building, as you can see, subway stations into a few of our modules, so they can run it like a real subway.
I'm really upset about MTH no longer diving into the HO scale.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know what the reasoning was. I think they may still be doing O scale. It's kind of confusing when you read articles online about what their actual plans are. We actually have seen them at a couple of the train shows we've seen gone to recently. We haven't directly asked them, but the fact they're at train shows tells us they may still be doing some sort of like O scale.
Yeah, they really give you a sense of FOMO. I'm really missing out. There's a beautiful MTH GS4 Southern Daylight that I wanted to get my hands on. It might be quite a rarity now that MTH is gone.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, there we go.
Transitform Road. There's a Transitform Road. Track now. Alright, should be back on track now. The more decoupling happened when I realized. The more decoupling happened when I realized.
I'm sending out our maintenance train to help you there. I'm sending out our maintenance train to help you there.
So we mentioned a little bit about the models that we have for subway cars. Now I will talk about the models that we have for our steam engines. So the two streamline engines that are at the station right now in the camera are both Rivarossi. We love Rivarossi. It's an older company. We've got quite a few of their trains. We've converted them all to DCC just with wiring harnesses. And they run really well. We may in the future want to do something about their flanges. Their flanges are a little bit big, and we've actually switched to code 83 tracks, so they can make quite a ruckus on the track. But yeah, those are both Rivarossi coaches. And then we have our Commodore Vanderbilt coming into view. Get some trains out of the way for that. So we have our Commodore Vanderbilt coming into view, and that was a recent release, as we had mentioned before. This is a Broadway Limited model.
Job with detailing.
They really do. It's a great model. They even have some kind of like a bent sheet metal look on the train to have that more natural look. This is definitely is modeled after an older engine, so it definitely works well. You've got the typical Paragon 4 features, chuffing, smoke and synchronization, crew talk, engine sounds, all the good stuff. They are more expensive, so we've got a good mix of cheaper end locomotives, to balance it out, because you can't always spend that much money on a locomotive or a model. But we've treated ourselves to a couple. One thing I will say is you can always have fun with the train as long as it runs good. It doesn't need to be an expensive model. So I would hope nobody ever feels like they need to buy an expensive model to get into model railroading.
Absolutely not. Folks, if you haven't noticed, we are very big lovers of New York City trains, classic 1930s, 1940s eras. We'd actually like to know, anyone out there viewing, what your favorite train era or train style or regional train? Please, leave them in the comments. Actually curious what's out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone definitely has different preferences to what kind of era they like to do, what kind of modeling they like to do. I know I see a lot of freight operations in model railroading, which is awesome. I definitely would say we're into more kind of like steam passenger service, though we do like to do a little bit of switching. So we're not featuring on our live today, but one of our modules is a kind of port switching area with a barge that can take freight cars and such, and it's definitely fun to do. I'd say primarily we love steam. And we are not at all against diesel. We've got plenty of diesel engines, and we like to run them. But if I was to say my favorite thing to run, it's definitely steam passenger service. But yeah, I think people do. I'm actually not. I actually don't know what all the eras mean. I know, at least in Europe, they kind of just refer to things, I think, as like era 1, 2, and 3. Maybe even 4. I can't remember what the range is. I know when I hear people talk about their modules, or their railroads here in the U.S., a lot of times they're referring more to just a time period. I definitely would say the 70s is the one I hear the most. A lot of people, especially into like diesel freight operations, I feel like I hear people always say that they're modeling their railroad after the 70s. Modeling their railroad after the 70s.
I think we're in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah, we're a little bit earlier on. I think at least when it comes to our steam service.
I do love those 1950s New York Central diesels.
Yes, that's something we're not running today, actually. I'm not sure what era they're from, but we wanted to stick to steam engine service today, because we wanted to really do that old-timey New York feel.
We actually recently went to a train show in Edison, New Jersey, and got our hands on some pretty great vintage diesel engines.
Yeah, I don't know when they're from. We convert them to DCC. It's an ABA unit. We have the B unit is a dummy unit, so it's not powered. But both of the A units we converted to DCC and cleaned up the motors, and they run pretty well.
Love the sound of that engine coming in.
I know, I do like the sound. Now, it can be annoying. If you have a lot of engines making noise, it can be really distracting. Even with just this one engine running, I think we should definitely consider trying to lower the volume a bit. But it's definitely nice to have that ambiance and that sound. What do you say we do a little bit of some nighttime running?
I would love that. I'm interested to see how these things run at night.
When we get to it. We don't have a lot of lighting on our layout. We do have lighting on our station module, so it looks pretty cool at night. Doesn't look that dark right now, though.
Oh, and there we go. It is night time. Barbie Limited really did a good job with adding light inside of the cab.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Would it be difficult to retrofit that into older engines?
No, I mean LED lighting actually, in my opinion, is one of the easiest things to do. They make LEDs so tiny now, and you could do your own headlights in an engine that's not fitted in if you wanted to. On a lot of the River Rossi, we replaced, well, pretty much all of them, I would say, we have replaced their incandescent bulbs with LEDs. We go with like a smaller, like warm yellow look. We don't like the bright blue look, especially for these older steam engines.
Perform some maintenance than at night when there are limited passengers.
Absolutely.
Sorry to those people waiting at night, but this train will not be picking you up. It will be performing regularly scheduled maintenance.
Definitely try to catch one of the bigger subways coming into the station before we end our stream.
This is a little interesting. I actually like this change from day to night.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. I mean, some people have great layouts today. A lot of elements on there are just phenomenal. I definitely want to strive towards that, but right now the only thing we really have lit is our station module.
So we definitely have limited space, being that we're in a New York City home, but it goes to show that you're never really done modeling. There's always something you can do, something subtle like adding interiors or adding lighting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think this is why the hobby is so much fun. I'm actually super excited to be able to do interiors in some of our older passenger coaches, such as the River Rossi's.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot of fun you can have with doing interiors and adding light kits or even your own lighting to coaches. It's actually really easy to do.
I actually want to dabble into 3D printing some of the interiors.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do there for sure. Alright, so we're getting towards the end of our stream. We're going to do get our steam engines to the station, and then we'll show some shots of the subways. We'll show some shots of the subways coming into the station, and then we'll end our stream. Love that brake squeal.
Oh, absolutely.
Alright, we've got our Empire State Express pulling into the station in a second. Once we get that stopped, we'll switch over to the subway and we'll watch couple of the nighttime subway cars go past in the station.
A great way to end it with stainless steel passenger cars.
Absolutely. Alright, we're going to switch over to our subway and watch some subway cars pull into the station.
This New York City subway is a 24/7 service. Pulling the last few passengers.
Oops, did not mean to turn the light on. Oops, did it again. I'm going to try to give a little bit more of an interesting angle here. Fortunately, there's some glare with the lights this webcam, so I'm just great with that. But at least you can see the lighting on the front of the subway cars with this angle.
And we've got one final train to pull in for you before we call it a night.
This is going to be our local 4 train.
Sorry for the delay, folks. It is a local train after all, so it has to make a lot more stops than the Express. And here it comes, the 4 train traveling from Brooklyn, New York to the Bronx, New York. What a difference $2.75 does per ride. Get a taste of the entire city. And here we go. This is a lot of fun today.
Yeah, absolutely.
For everybody watching, thank you so much. We are NYC Derailed.
Yeah, if you enjoyed this, if you're watching this, whether it be live with us or on the recorded version that will be up on YouTube, please feel free to leave comments. We're always looking for suggestions of future themes or just any talking points that anybody's interested in listening to. Also, if you did like what you saw here, please like and subscribe on the channel. That way you will be notified of any future videos we upload or any lives we're doing in the future. So thank you very much to anybody who's watched the video, and have a good night.